Hi and welcome. At the day of me filming this video, it's actually 7th of April, so for all intents and purposes, it's almost a little bit late to film a TBR video, but from the start of this year, I have been in quite the reading slump, and April is no different. I had quite optimistic plans for the month, and so far I am absolutely failing to keep up with the reading amount that I had planned for myself, so I thought, how about I make a video, post it on the internet, and then I will feel somewhat accountable. And also, if you have seen my previous videos, you will notice that the background has changed a little bit. That is because I am a liar. I have said many, many times in my previous videos that there's no space for another bookshelf in the house, and I lied. A little while ago, I realized that my main bookshelf cannot hold my unstoppable appetite for buying more and more books, so I bought another shelf. And the shelf behind me is actually not the one that I bought, it's the one that my partner had, but we swapped. And the one that I bought was a three level, I think this is Calyx from IKEA. It's basically the same shelf, it's just his had this additional column that mine didn't, so now I've upgraded to an even bigger version. This shelf is looking a little bit bare, though probably not as bare as I would have hoped it would, because it holds some of my partner's books, but the vast majority of the books behind me is the ones that I have purchased in 2026 that I have not read yet. And this is adding to me being a liar, because at the very start of the year I said that my intention for 2026 is to only buy the books that I plan to read within the next month or two of the purchase, and as you can see behind me, I have completely failed in that. But without further ado, I have my April TBR lined up, lying right next to me, and it's 8 books, one of which I have actually already read, and pretty much all of the books on my TBR for April are the books that I in some way need to read. Not that I think that there's any books that are mandatory for anybody to read, but I've sort of committed to reading these in April, and they kind of have a deadline, so here we are. And let's start with book club books, as those are the ones that I absolutely want to read in April without any exceptions. And the first one on the list is one that I have the book club for in exactly a week, and it's Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep by Philip K. Dick. Admittedly, I got this book because I thought the title is pretty cool, and it's a pretty short one, but my book club was really excited to read it, and I've actually already started it. I'm 48 pages in, so this is, I'm gonna say 5 or 6 chapters, and I'm having the absolute best time with it, so I have really high hopes for the rest of the book, and I'm sure it will be a pretty quick read. Then the next on the list is the book that I am somewhat excited about, but at the same time a little bit scared of in a very, very weird way. And it's Equal Rights by Terry Pratchett. And let me explain why I'm a little bit scared. Thing is, I really, really want to love Terry Pratchett. I've given him a go by reading God's Gods, and I got about halfway through and I was not having a good time. I was not enjoying it in any way. And it was my book club pick, so I sort of felt like I wanted to enjoy it. And it turned out that I was the only person in that book club who wasn't raving about the book or Terry Pratchett. But I've decided to give it another go. I've heard that Equal Rights might suit me better, so I really hope I enjoy it. I will do my best to get through it regardless. It's a pretty short book, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, and hopefully me and Terry Pratchett can find the common language. And the third is the final book for my book club. I have created another monthly event, and it's for reading series together. And the plan is for us to pick series and read a book from the series either per month or every 2 months. We sort of haven't decided yet. And the book that I've selected to start with is John Gwyn's The Shadow of the Gods, and it's a Bloodsworn Saga book one. And maybe some of you are familiar with the edition. It's the edition that Waterstones, actually, it isn't the Waterstones special edition, it's just special edition that the book came out in. But it was released, I think, at the end of 2025, and I really like it. I was very happy to get my hands on all 3 books, and that also really motivates me to read all 3 of them. And I really love John Gwyn's writing, so I have very high hopes for this one. I've also heard that people love this trilogy more than the other series, and The Fateful and the Fallen is one of my favorite series, so I'm hoping that this will exceed my expectations in every way possible. Now, I don't know a lot about the synopsis. I know this is based on Norse mythology. I know that there's some powerful Norse gods, which makes me incredibly excited, and I think this will be an absolute blast, and hopefully my book club also likes it. And the last one is another book club book, but this time it's not the book club that I'm leading, it's the one that I'm a part of. And with that book club, we usually read contemporary literary fiction, historical fiction, some classics, and the choice for me is Shy Creatures by Claire Chambers. And to be honest, just like with many, many books, I am going in blind. I don't really know what the book is about. I know it's a historical fiction. I know that the author is known for her book Small Pleasures, though Small Pleasures has been rated a little bit lower than Shy Creatures. So I'm quite excited. I'm very happy to have picked up this hardback. It's not the longest book that I have read. It's, I think, just under 400 pages. So hopefully I enjoy it and hopefully the book club enjoys it as well, and it's a fun discussion. Now, with book clubs sort of out of the way, the next on my list is actually two books in the series, and it is the series that I chose as the first event for the series book club that I started, and this is the book two and the book three. And the series that I have chosen is The Broken Earth by N.K. Jemisin, and the book two is The Obelisk Gate. I planned to finish it in March. I completely failed. I want to say about 50 or 60 pages left, and I did actually finish it at the very, very start of April. And surprisingly and completely unexpectedly, I actually enjoyed The Obelisk Gate a little bit more than the fifth season. But in every possible way, it did not disappoint, and I am very, very, very excited to move on to book three. And the book three is The Stone Sky. I actually already started The Stone Sky. I think I read about a chapter and then I sort of moved on to other reading. I want to have enough time to just sit down and savor it. It's not a very quick read for me. I really like author's writing. I think her writing is incredibly lyrical. It's really beautiful. The world is beautiful. The magic system is beautiful. The characters are beautiful. I truly enjoy everything about the trilogy. There's some things that I found a little bit tricky in the first book. Mainly the second person narration was a little bit not bad. I wouldn't say it's bad. It was just very foreign. It's not something that you see very often in books and in fantasy, especially. So that took definitely a while to get used to. But I would say that if you read the fifth season and second person narration feels daunting, then somehow in the Obelisk Gate, it makes it a lot more natural and the writing feels a lot more personal and you get used to the second person. So then when you move on to the Stone Sky, at least based on the prologue on the first chapter, it doesn't feel foreign anymore, and it feels very natural. It feels like something that you 100% expect. And to be honest, in my case, I really enjoy the second person narration now. And I have only two books left on my list, and the next is somewhat of an unexpected book for me. If you are in any shape or form familiar with the books that I usually read and the choices in literature, and it's Diabound by Sable Sorensen. And let me explain why I chose this. So my friend really loves romance fantasy. I am not against it. I just don't read it very often. I find it hard to find one that would really interest me, but romance fantasy is how I got back into reading and how I got specifically into fantasy. So I have a lot of fond memories and a lot of fond feelings towards the genre. Diabound is the choice because me and that friend are going together to the event for the second book. The event is in London, and she really wanted to go to any book event. She's never been to any. So I found one for Sable Sorensen, knowing that she would probably enjoy it because it's romance fantasy. She has actually already read Diabound. I had just started. I think I made the most progress yesterday, and I'm on maybe page 160, 170. We've just had the major plot twist, the first major plot twist. I'm actually enjoying it. I've heard pretty mixed reviews. Up until I started reading it, I've had only good reviews, and I thought that I'm going in to have a pretty good time. But then once I started reading it, I've had a couple of worse reviews. There's been a couple of moments where I kind of rolled my eyes and was a little bit skeptical of the necessity of certain things mentioned or the way that certain things were described. But to be honest, I'm having quite a fun time. It sort of scratches the itch that I was having for some light, not too complicated magical system. I like the bonded trope. Is that is that how you say it? Definitely not the bonding one. But basically, I like when the main character is bonded to an animal in any shape or form. That's why I loved Fourth Wing, because dragons and bonding to dragons, it's so cool. In this case, it's direwolves, and it's just as cool. It's somewhat similar to Fourth Wing in the vibe of the bonding between the character and the animal, but nevertheless, I'm having the best time. I'm enjoying myself. I don't mind the writing. I don't mind the characters. There's certain things that annoy me and irritate me, and I think are a little bit meh, and could probably be written a little bit better and a little bit more original. But it's definitely what I expected from a book in the best possible way, so I'm so far not disappointed. And the very, very last on the list is a nonfiction book, a self help book that I have been meaning to read for quite a few years now. And I'm always a little bit skeptical of self help books. I don't hate them, I just don't particularly enjoy them. I always think that the things mentioned in them are a little bit too obvious and sort of something that I could have come up with by myself. Whether that's true or not, I'm not entirely sure. This book has been recommended to me by many people, including my partner. He swears by it, and it's Atomic Habits by James Clear. And I actually already started reading it, just like with many other books on this list. I am a couple of chapters in, and I'm happy to say that I'm having the best time. And this book so far has surprised me in every possible way. It's very simple in its concept, where James Clear is trying to explain to you that in order to change your life and in order to become the better version of yourself, become the version of yourself that you want to be, you need to change small things in your habits, small things in everyday life that would eventually accumulate to you being the person that you want to be. And I think it's a pretty obvious thing when you sit and think about it, but the way that he has written these chapters and the way that he is explaining this information is really digestible. I'm really enjoying it. And after every chapter, there's something that I want to think about. There's something that I want to write down or something that I want to incorporate in my own life. I can't say I'm unhappy with the life that I'm living, but there's definitely things that I would like to improve around my hobbies and around my health and, around certain habits that I have. I want to get rid of some of the bad ones and adopt some of the good ones. So, this book could not have come at a better time, and I'm really excited to read it. I do want to read it in April, and I want to try to read at least one nonfiction book per month. That's something that I've said many times I want to try and want to stick with. And hopefully, this is a nice beginning. This could be my nice little monthly habit, so we'll see how it goes. So that is it. That is my 8 books. Well, technically 7 because I've already finished one, but I'm gonna say 8 because it's a nicer number. I really want to get out of my reading slum. I don't know what it is about me and reading in 2026, whether it's the books that I'm picking, the mood that I'm in, the daily habits, the daily routine. Something just is working against me. But I'm going on a bit of a holiday. Well, somewhat of a holiday. I'm going to see my family for a week or just under a week, and that involves a little bit of traveling. It's 2 flights there and back. So I will have plenty of time to sit down with a book, and I'm definitely taking a couple of these with me. So hopefully, while I'm away, I can dig into some of these books and hopefully finish some and have a bit of a fun time. And hopefully, this is the beginning of my recovery from my reading slump. But please let me know what books you are reading or what books you're planning to read. And if any of these are the books that you've read and loved or hated, please let me know in the comments down below. And I would love to have a chat about it. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.